Hey everybody, it's Alex from Alex and Erica's channel, and today we're talking about one of the most beautiful cruise ports in the entire Southern Caribbean, Barbados. If your cruise itinerary includes Barbados, this is a port you're probably really going to enjoy. It's organized, it's easy to explore, and the island itself is just incredibly scenic. But like a lot of cruise ports, if you don't have a plan before you get off the ship, it's very easy to waste time trying to figure out what to do. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what the cruise port area is like, how to get around, the best beaches near the port, and whether the Boatyard is still worth visiting, and a few other popular things that you can do while you're visiting Barbados. And like always, nothing in this video is sponsored. Everything I talk about is based on our own personal experience and the research we do before we visit places, specifically on cruise ships. First, let's talk about the cruise port itself. Ships dock in Bridgetown, which is the capital of Barbados. The cruise terminal here is modern, it's easy to navigate, and it's very cruise friendly. When you get off the ship, you'll walk through a terminal area with a few shops, there's some local vendors, and there's taxis waiting outside. Barbados is also sometimes used as an embarkation port. So depending on your cruise itinerary, you may actually see people starting or ending their cruise here. Overall though, it's a very easy port to navigate. One thing to keep in mind is that Barbados can sometimes have 3, 4, even 5 cruise ships in port on the same day. So if you're planning on visiting beaches or Carlisle Bay, it's definitely helpful to have a plan ahead of time. As far as currency goes, US dollars are widely accepted here. Most places also accept credit cards. Barbados is generally considered one of the safest islands in the Caribbean for cruise visitors. The local people are very friendly, laid back, and very welcoming. Just use the same common sense you would anywhere else when traveling, and you should have no issues. Now, when it comes to what to actually do in Barbados, there are a few different ways you can approach this port. Some people get off the ship and go straight to the beach, and that's definitely an option worth considering, but personally, the way we like to do this port is a little different. We actually prefer to start the day with a quick island tour, and then finish the afternoon at the beach area. The reason is pretty simple. When the ships first arrive, thousands of passengers start heading towards the same beaches. So if you start your day with a 1 or 2 hour tour of the island, you get to see a lot more of Barbados before the beach crowds start to build up back within the city. One of the easiest ways to do this is by grabbing a taxi right outside the cruise port. Most taxis in Barbados are actually vans, so they work really well for families or small groups. You can usually negotiate a 1 or 2 hour tour around the island. Some of these quick tours include things like going through some of the scenic coastal viewpoints. The eastern side of the island where the Atlantic Ocean hits, there's historic churches, or even a quick stop near the area where Rihanna grew up. Barbados has some really beautiful landscapes, and even just spending an hour or so driving around the island gives you a much better feel for the destination. Then after your tour, that's when we like to head towards the beach. One of the easiest beaches near the cruise port is Pebbles Beach. It's about a 15 to 20 minute walk from the port, or just a short taxi ride. Pebbles Beach sits along Carlisle Bay, which is known for calm water. It has great swimming conditions and really, really beautiful sand. Carlisle Bay is also one of the best places in the Caribbean to see sea turtles while snorkeling. So that's why a lot of snorkeling tours operate right in this area. You can absolutely come here on your own, bring your cruise ship towel, and just enjoy the beach. But if you want a little more structure, there are a couple beach clubs nearby that make things really, really easy. The one we've personally used before and still really like is the Boatyard. The Boatyard is basically a beach club right on Carlisle Bay where you pay an entrance fee and you get access to their facilities. They have lounge chairs, umbrellas, bathrooms, changing rooms, food and drinks, and a few fun things in the water like a rope swing, a floating trampoline, and platforms you can jump from. They also include a short snorkeling trip with your entrance fee that takes you out into Carlisle Bay, where you can sometimes see sea turtles, and there's even a shipwreck out there. So if you're traveling with kids, that can be a lot of fun. But one of the biggest reasons I like the Boatyard is actually the logistics. They run a shuttle back to the cruise ship terminal throughout the afternoon. So if you finish your day there, you don't have to worry about finding a taxi or figuring out how to get back to the cruise ship. You can just relax, enjoy the beach, and take the shuttle back to the ship. And for cruise ship passengers, that convenience is really nice. And that shuttle is included with your entrance fee to the Boatyard. Right next to the Boatyard, there's another beach club called Harbour Lights. This can be a great option if you're looking for something a little more laid back. It's in the same beautiful area as Carlisle Bay, but it tends to feel a little more quieter It definitely has a little less energy than the Boatyard, but if you want something a little more relaxed, this would be a good option. Harbour Lights is definitely worth considering. Another option that has become very popular in Barbados is doing a catamaran snorkeling tour. These tours usually take place right in Carlisle Bay and include things like snorkeling with the sea turtles, a short sailing trip, drinks on board, sometimes lunch. If you're looking for a little more excursion style experience, this is one of the highest rated activities on the island. If that sounds interesting to you, I've added a couple links in the description below to some of the highest rated catamaran tours in Barbados, so you can take a closer look at those before your cruise. It's always a good idea to book that in advance. Another well-known attraction on the island is Harrison's Cave. This is a limestone cave system where you ride through the cave on a tram and you see underground waterfalls and rock formations. It's really interesting. It's a great option if you're not as interested in a beach day and want to try something different. If visiting Harrison's Cave sounds interesting, I've also added a link in the description of this video. Those links will provide transportation to and from the cruise port, so that's also important and a nice option to have. If we were visiting Barbados again tomorrow on a cruise, this is probably what we would do. We would get off the ship, we'd take a 1 or 2 hour island tour in the morning, view the island, and then we'd have the driver drop us off at the Boatyard or Harbour Lights. We would spend the afternoon enjoying Carlisle Bay and then take the shuttle back to the cruise port. That gives you a little sightseeing, it gives you a little beach time, and a really relaxing end to your port day. Barbados is a fantastic island, beautiful water, friendly people, and one of the easiest cruise ports in the Caribbean to explore. Just remember to keep an eye on ship time and give yourself plenty of time to get back to the port, especially if you're exploring on your own. If you've been to Barbados before, I'd love to hear what your favorite thing is to do on the island. And if you have Barbados coming up on your cruise itinerary, hopefully this video was helpful and helps you make the most of your time on the island. Thank you again for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.